Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the First Strike Qualifiers. Day number 2 here with Nerd Street Gamers. Yesterday, the rounds of 128 and 64, but for a lot of teams, this is arguably the most important day in their Valorant careers, as we've got the round of 32 and the round of 16. Specifically, the teams that get through this first round will have qualified for the first closed qualifier leading up to that First Strike regional. I'm Ali Holdshift. With me is Avril, and we've got a good one on the tables today here, Avril. We've got FaZe Clan going up against EQUINOX. Both teams we saw play during the Renegades Invitational, but only one of the two actually made it out of groups. EQUINOX was surprised by complexity and then lost to Cloud9, whereas FaZe Clan finished top 8. So a lot on the line for these two teams, but there's a lot on the line for every team that's playing here in this first round of 32 on the day.
Exactly, and we have gone through round of 128 and round of 64 as well yesterday on the main stream, of course on the supporting streams as well. So now we're heading into the real action here. There is going to be 5 days worth of gameplay here. We'll be covering round 32 and 16 today. Then tomorrow will be round of 8, followed by that the round of 4, and then grand finals. Every single game here is going to be best of 3 single eliminations, as said already. So big things to play for. Today's the important day though, isn't it, Alan? Because we're heading in towards the actual 16. So if you win this match here, if you win the round of 32 rather game here, then you'll be through to the next phase of tournament, as well as then obviously playing through to the following days where we will be playing for seeding. But you know, the main thing we're looking for here is just making sure you get into the top 16 for the actual qualifiers, which are happening on the November 4th to 8th, and then from there the top 4 teams will make it into in a first strike proper, the main event itself, whereas the rest of the teams will go through to the next qualifier event held by UMG. But for now, like you said, focusing on our current match, FaZe Clan versus EQUINOX. Of course, there are going to be other matches being played as well. There will be other streams for that. We are also looking towards, you know, the fact that just to highlight some of the other teams that have made it through: MV, TSM, Sentinels, Genji, T1, Dignitas, all the regulars, Ambox, who, you know, recently won the Renegades NSG Invitational as well. And then, you know, the Cloud9 teams actually. And then obviously we talk about FaZe Clan coming in right now versus EQUINOX. And FaZe Clan have had a bit of a break, I want to say, in terms of playing between the FaZe Clan Invitational, and then most recently they played in the Renegades NSG Invitational as well. So it's been some time since FaZe Clan had recently played, and now that we're getting into First Strike, this is a team that have also, I would say, made some changes towards their compositional lineup. So you had the main highlights here would be that Raucus has moved from Jet over to Sova, Zachary went from Sage to Cypher, and Baby Bay from Cypher towards the Jet. So 3 players on this team have most recently been kind of changing things up just a little bit. The other 2 members have kept it pretty stable here. So, you know, Corey, you're still going to see him pretty much just on those duelists over there, and you're going to be seeing Marved on the smoke agents being Omen, and I would have said Brim, but realistically it's just going to be the Omen.
Yeah, and you know, talking with Corey leading up to the Renegades Invitational, he specifically was saying that they felt like this FaZe Clan roster was forced to play certain roles back during their own Invitational previously, and that just wasn't working for them. Although, to be fair, we mentioned a lot about how that team in real time was learning at an extreme rate, and they were adapting very quickly to be competitive. But here's the deal. As we saw them in Renegades First Strike, or pardon me, the Renegades Invitational before, and now here in the First Strike Invitational, Corey and Baby Bay have been electric. Corey and Baby Bay, specifically from the first day of the First Strike qualifiers yesterday, are the number 2 and number 3 overall top KDs currently across every single member that played. Just to kind of put up a lot of pressure as far as what these duelists have been able to do for this FaZe Clan roster since that FaZe Invitational. Yeah, they've absolutely found a way to get things to work for them. On the other front, though, Avril, and one of the things that we've seen a lot from EQUINOX, we were a bit surprised to see them fall not just to complexity, but also they got beat up a little bit by Cloud9 in their elimination match during the Renegades group stage. And during that time, Decop and Mina did not play particularly as expected. That's my big kind of matchup that I'm looking at here first between these two teams. Are those double duelists? You're looking at Decop and Mina. Can they get back and perform at the level that you would expect them to? Granted, they had a great day yesterday, but the caliber of opponents was vastly different than what we're going to expect here versus FaZe Clan.
I'm looking towards FaZe Clan's recent results as well. They did fall short in the quarterfinals of the Renegades NSG Invitational, so they actually fell down to Cloud9 Blue, and that is a team that is on the same side of the bracket. In fact, looking towards the bracket itself, FaZe Clan could potentially be up against Cloud9 Blue in a rematch. So if FaZe Clan beat EQUINOX today in the round of 32, if Cloud9 Blue also beat Dimmadome and $, which is the match that they have in the round of 32, then Cloud9 Blue and FaZe Clan will match up again, and that result from the Renegades Invitational was a 2-0 in favor of Cloud9 Blue. So I'm sure FaZe Clan will be looking for revenge. And speaking of which as well, I think, you talked a little bit about EQUINOX in terms of their recent results, which are not really ideal for their situation walking into this. However, they have obviously performed decently enough to make it to the top 32 here. It is going to be a bit of a challenge, I think, for FaZe Clan, for EQUINOX to get past FaZe Clan. However, this is actually one of the few matches that I do believe is a bit of a coin toss. FaZe Clan have had to get over quite a few issues. You mentioned how they were, kind of figuring out their roles. It did seem that way as well. I know that Baby Bay definitely didn't feel comfortable on the Cypher. He definitely wants to be moving towards something like the Jet, so that's going to be helping them. They obviously made it further than EQUINOX in the Renegades Invitational as well, but EQUINOX prior to the Invitational actually had some really decent results. This is what we're looking for, though. We're looking for EQUINOX to be able to kind of be within touching distance, be within reach of a team like FaZe Clan, be hopefully within reach of the top 16 here. And well, they would have to get past a team like FaZe Clan to do so, but I think it is definitely possible. They look like they're much better than they were coming through from the Renegades Invitational, and now we're getting quite close, as the winner of this will move on to the actual round of 16 and also towards the actual close qualifier as well.
Look, I mean, for EQUINOX, again, if you're not familiar with the team, they were formerly China Win. Yes, they going into this kind of, we'll call it like a little bit of a dark period between what was the Pop Flash Invitational and then the Renegades Invitational, which was the first time we've seen some of the major teams play in about 2 months. The fact was that China Win or EQUINOX, when they were picked up, they played through a number of different tournaments, a couple of different leagues. They're playing really well. They had only dropped 3 total games since the Pulse series, and those 3 games were versus Luminosity, Mamba Mode, and Elysium. For them to be surprised by Complexity and then not put up a fight versus Cloud9, they're going to be looking for revenge. So for this best of 3, we're going to start things off on Ascent. Both teams very comfortable here. Both teams have experience playing it just in the last 24 hours. Expectations as far as the overall rosters, we're going to be looking at almost a mirror matchup with a couple of exceptions. FaZe love to play the Reyna, specifically on this map. Whereas EQUINOX, they've defaulted to just pulling out the solo Jet and then bringing in the Breach. So will that come through here once again? Looks to be the case, as you see FaZe Clan starting off defensively will have that Reyna Jet combination, and they will be without the Breach, which is going to be different from what EQUINOX is bringing on their attack.
And Decop especially as well, he's quite a bit of a Reyna player, so to give that one up to favor Breach, it says a lot about where EQUINOX are right now in terms of what they're favoring, what they think is good. Obviously, we are on patch 1.10.110, so we've reverted from 1.11. This isn't going to be the new Breach with the changes. We're back to what we already know, and instantly we're right up over towards 3, into short, and getting action started on 8.
Mina with the frenzy, able to find first blood. Zach falling Marv, no chance from inside the site. Will also drop. Clean take so far for EQUINOX, and for the retake, now required, will have to be in the back end of 2 duelists. Raucus does have a lot of utility to spend. He's going to have his next recon bolt up in just a few seconds, so you're looking at a long flank potentially coming up for Baby Bay, but there are a couple of trap wires that he will have to kind of obstacle his way through. Reyna from the side room will be trying to work their way on, but EQUINOX has got a really solid setup, so this execution is going to be hard-pressed to find a lot of value. The recon bolt already dealt with, and with that fault line coming through, this is going to result in a lot of individual 1v1s. Baby Bay falling first, Corey next, and the last one left alive is Raucus. Decent shots, he'll find 1 kill to keep it from being flawless, but what a beautiful start for EQUINOX on the take.
Yep, straight through short. Get a lot of aggression in there for EQUINOX. Straight into the plant as well. You look towards FaZe. Baby Bear had to get it done onto the big flank overthrow from A main. Doesn't win the duel versus DXN. If he wins versus DXN, there's a possibility for the 3v4 retake. They were triple entry between Heaven, Short, and also A main. That would have been workable for them. Would have required a decent amount of effort, but unfortunately for Baby Bear, he will lose to DXN. DXN copping 2 kills in that particular round as well as we head into the next round. Let's take a look at the overall buys. Interesting to note that FaZe are going to force up triple Sheriff into the Ghost plus Ares.
This is not atypical for FaZe. We saw them play in the Renegades Invitational. They were no strangers to forcing after losing the pistol. So can they find a way to make use out of this economical investment? Mina, Cloudburst, already darting on through. He's going to be able to find where Raucus is, but a really good reposition is now we can just go to spam things out. The help is going to be here, but it's going to be EQUINOX with a free 3 kills. Beautifully done. The site now completely exposed, and the retake is looking, well, not all that strong. Just down to Zach for a 1v5, and this is a very costly decision for FaZe Clan.
And Zach's unfortunately got the West weapon equipment out of all the rest of his teammates. He doesn't have the Sheriff, doesn't have the Ares, just the Ghost available. Possibly have to just look for some exits here versus players with full armor as well. Equinox coming in, full Spectres, full armor, and 0 deaths. Full kills rounded up there. Mina coming up big for the last one as well. And FaZe, unfortunately, will fail the Force Buy. They're going to have to go into the next one. Limited equipment here. Definitely not going to Force Buy twice in a row, you'd imagine. Marv will potentially look towards a Sheriff, as will Zachary, but really it had to be Raucus getting it done in the previous round. If it wasn't going to be the Ares mowing people down on their way through B main, then it wasn't going to be anyone else at all. They allowed Equinox to get onto site very quickly. Another very fast plant, another very fast hit as well. Equinox now, no reason to really stop the tempo. It's still SMGs versus pistols. I expect another fast one from Equinox.
And this is just so different. I mean, it's not atypical to see teams like FaZe particularly go for Force Buys after they drop the pistol, but for them to get a flawless against them, now all of a sudden you're looking at a third round, which should be very free for Equinox. They just stormed their way in. Baby Bay was trying to play a little bit of concealment through the boathouse, but doesn't find anything with it. And now again, a very quick take leads to a quick plant in a 5v3 where FaZe's kind of going to have to go for this, but this is looking like another round where Equinox might just stay flawless again.
Yeah, I don't expect that FaZe will get too much down here. They will probably go for exits. What you can do in this particular stage in the game is just play for all this exit potential. Marv through from markets, 2 other players going through from the defender spawn as well. If they can get Equinox on the way out, get them to die to the spike explosion, that will at least drop a lot of guns to the floor, or at least force a lot of rebuys here. So that seems to be the plan for now. So just hold down the exits on both those ends. But part of the exit they don't have is Equinox exiting through B main, and there's not going to be any entry coming through from Marv as well via Paranoia or anything else. Zachary will get decop via attacks. That should be about it.
Well, Marv will find one more mid-map, and actually he gets a third down, so that's actually not bad for FaZe Clan. Granted, again, the tally of being down 3-0 early and the money for Equinox still feeling comfortable leads to a pretty daunting 4th round as well. Now, granted, everyone's going to be able to purchase up ARs if they so choose to. You obviously see a couple of Spectres will be held onto going into the next round, and this was the other question. And again, we talked about it a lot, watching this FaZe Clan team when they played in the Renegades Invitational. They love to get this operator online early, and Baby Bay is going to bring out to power here in map and run number 4, pardon me.
This is going to be an important round. So FaZe finally have all their weapons, equipment online. Baby Bay not shying away from playing sniper. He's got a lot of history on that type of weaponry. By the way, Blaze Storm being pulled out. Did expect that maybe Mina would do that. Does have the Spectre online as well for a little bit of backup. I thought that maybe Mina would just not buy at all. Did have a potential for a rifle, but sold that one. Bring up a Spectre. Blaze Storm is very competitive as well. So Equinox for the first time are going to go towards more of slow defaults. Moving up mid right now, straight to Baby Bay. It's going to be Mina and Blaze Storm down.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see anything be used to try to cover up some of the angles in mid. Pretty free kill coming through. Corey able to double through DXN and Decop. That's the spike down. A lot of information here for FaZe Clan and a massive regain round in round 4. Last 2 left alive are going to be Cute Fat Boy and Pancakes, and they are able to collect the spike, which is valuable to be sure, but this is going to be such a tough spike site to break into.
There's still a lot of time to stay alive as well. Not a lot of time to get onto site, win that site, and get a plant, but there's a 2v2 ahead of them right now. You do see that Corey has moved his way all the way into mid. Sees nobody there. Baby Bay sees plenty. Won't connect the second shot into Pancakes, but 133 HP, 1 rifle, 30 seconds. Not too much more to do here as Corey comes from behind as well. Pancakes can't even leave if he wants to.
Hey, Equinox has the ability with Pancakes here. I was about to say he's got a lot of utility left, but him just kind of delaying over towards B main allows the flank to come through no problem. Big bounce back round though for FaZe. They take the investment of the operator and the ARs obviously here in round 4, and they all pan out nicely. Flawless round coming through. One more 4 purchase round coming out for Equinox though, based on the bank that they were able to build through their first 3 rounds. So we got ourselves a full gun round for the first time here in round number 5.
And importantly as well, Corey has Empress available, 3 and 3 on the KD there, and that means that he should probably look to use it this particular round. This is an important round for both Equinox and FaZe, but particularly for Equinox as they're starting to get close to perhaps having their economy broken. Corey with something in terms of an advantage here, and I do expect, you know, for the Overwatch guys, myself included here, something about ult economy and ult management is going to be very important. They need to know, they should be understanding the macro here, so I do expect Corey to pull through the Empress when possible.
Skill set that should be familiar, right? At least for FaZe.
I'd hope so. I'd hope so. Look, if I get it, they should.
We'll see if they do eventually commit here. Again, you do have for Equinox the ability of a Hunter's Fury to play with. Aldrin will scout things out for DXN. He will see information that is onto Corey top side near Heaven at A. Spike, though, being held over towards the Cubby. Looks to be an execute from both directions. Dark cover being placed out. Paranoia as well. Now here comes the play. Empress is through. Hunter's Fury trying to clear up space, but it's not finding much. Cute Fat Boy and Raucous go 1-for-1. 4v4 action comes through. Decop over in the corner gets taken down. Marv in a really cheeky position. Still has a Paranoia to play with, and everything has gone wrong on this hit for Equinox. The Hunter's Fury doesn't find any value, and now DXN has to find a way to 1v4. Not going to get a chance at the first in FaZe 2 in a row.
Raucous, a sacrificial lamb there, but it's fine. FaZe will instantly respond. 4 alive there is absolutely huge for the economy. Baby Bay holds onto the operator as well. Corey popping through the Empress as soon as the Hunter's Fury came through from DXN, so instantly responded to. And FaZe, again, they know how to use the ults here. They know how to really take that pressure over towards Equinox, going over towards the A site as well, and holding up, making sure there's no plant. The spike was dropped even towards glass as well. So, yeah, not a lot done there for Equinox, who are going to just come through with the half-bite, Spectres, Stingers, light armor. DXN doesn't even have any armor. This should be a pretty simple round for FaZe, assuming nothing goes wrong. Equinox might want to speed up.
Well, Equinox has found all their success from speedy hits through B, but it hasn't been against this level of weaponry. So you're looking really at Zach. Can he find a way to hold off against this hit? Mina first one in, able to come right through the trap wire, no problem. Also has a cyber cage to dance through, able to get there. And Zach, does he have any idea that this player is actually inside their own cyber cage? The flash comes out, but Zach deals with the first and the second. It's the third flash. Zach, how have you done that? 3 for him. Beautifully executed for FaZe on the hold. 4v2 to try to take the retake onto B.
And that's it. That's going to be done right there. DXN doesn't really have much of hope now. Pancakes recovers the spike, recovers a gun. But a minimal HP here. One shot will do. And Corey with a quick headshot as well. Corey, the best aimer probably on the server right now across both of the 5 players on each team. And he'll be able to shut everything down for now. It's Equinox on their half-buy. Let's remember that, by the way, before we get too excited about that one. It was only Stingers and Spectres. They tried to make it competitive. They needed to take down Zach, and they should have taken down Zach. Zach turned away from 2 flashes and still turned back in time to connect the headshots in. So unfortunately for Equinox, not going to be able to get a plant in there once more. They're just going to end up losing pretty much everybody. Operator still in play. Look how rich the side of FaZe are. The lowest... the member with the lowest amount of money is actually going to be Zach on 3.7, Raucous on 4.8 as well. But you got guys over 7k on 8k as well, feeling pretty darn good about this situation.
Zach had a 1.2 KD through the Renegades Invitational, and one of the more impressive Cypher players on the day then. He was able to do very well yesterday as well. 1.39 KD between his 2 rounds, and more special moments here in this one. 3-3 we go, and Equinox has been empty since they won the pistol to follow up, and then of course, with FaZe Clan force buying in the second, they get a pre-look at the third. So, need to find a way to get a gun round here if you're FaZe.
And that's the thing, right? Equinox, they may have won the early rounds. Talk about the pistols, talk about the anti-ecos, the force up from FaZe as well. Not working in their favor, but once you get into the actual gun rounds, put an operator in Baby Bay's hands, things are starting to get quite deadly. And note that Baby Bay doesn't have a lot of kills right now, just the 2 on the board, both from the operators.
Yeah.
But those 2 kills in the respective rounds they came through have been pretty big factors. Now up for another kill as all members walk up. Actually misses the shot. That's not ideal. No tailwind either. Follow-up shot is going to also be a miss. And this could be Baby Bay falling.
Oh, but Corey, he's on top side as well. He comes from the backside over towards Tree for 3, giving Marv an opportunity. And I'm not going to lie there for a second. Equinox had a lot of tools to use. You heard the Hunter's Fury get popped for FaZe there at the very end for Raucous to try to get some extra damage done. Corey able to find 3, but I'm a bit surprised that we didn't see Equinox pull out the Rolling Thunder here.
Yeah, they had a lot of tools available. They actually dry pushed up for the most part. They didn't use a lot of util going over towards A. Lucky, I would say, in some cases, to survive 2 shots against the operator. However, Baby Bay not connecting those shots, a little bit uncharacteristic. We'll have the operator back into his hands, courtesy of, I believe, Raucous was actually picking that one up for the team. Notice that Corey is actually at 4 out of 6 again for the Empress, so looking for another timing here. He might have the Empress by the next round, which would then be the gun round, which is excellent timing against Equinox. We're saving this particular round Spectre for Mina, but the rest of them just have the pistols. Once we do get into that next round, that's when the Empress is going to do some real damage again. So look for Corey getting at least 2 more kills, or a kill and a death, or a kill and an orb, or some combination of that.
I really like this positioning swap up from Zach as well. He's not sitting inside the B site for what is about the first time he's ever positioned himself in this spot. He's going to get a lot of intel off the potential of this spy cam. And then he knows he's going to be playing up against SMGs and pistols, so the long range of sight could be valuable for him, but dark cover comes through, blocks his line of sight, and once again, it's going to be Mina the first one on. You also have the potential from the shadows trying to see what information that could be found from Marv. That was backside of B main. He does get it canceled, so now it's out of the retake for FaZe. The spike is going to go down. Baby Bay now with the Bladestorm as he tries to work his way forward. Fault line will flush him out from behind the boathouse. Corey, though, he's trying to make his way forward. The Lear going to maybe open up an opportunity for him to get there with Zach, and they do go 2 for 1. And from there on out, there's just one player left. He got nothing that he could do from the backside of the boathouse, and that will be 5 rounds in a row for FaZe Clan.
And thankfully, Corey doesn't pick up. Sorry, thankfully, Baby Bay doesn't pick up the last kill either. They won't need to feed over the spike defuse over to Corey, which they would have done if they wanted to get the Empress. They have that though. Corey, you saw, did get 2 kills in, so give that one over to Raucus, who's now 2 out of 7 towards the Hunter's Fury. And this is the timing I'm talking about. Notice why this is important, because EQUINOX going into their proper buy, they're on low money. If they lose this next round, they will have to save again. They'll have to go back to another eco. So this is the best time for FaZe to exert any sort of advantage they can, which will come through from the Empress. I would also expect EQUINOX need to come up big with their ultimates. They can't be holding on to the Rolling Thunder or probably even the From the Shadows in this particular push. They need to consider using both those ultimates for this next hit and really play this one a little bit slower to get the util out, but not too slow because Baby Bay once again sniping. Let's see if he finds anyone early.
Corey, if he only able to earn this Empress and have the ability to use these, and the only 2 gun rounds that we've truly had between both squads is huge difference maker. We remember we talked about the matchup at the beginning of this one. Could the duelist pressure from EQUINOX match up against that of FaZe Clan? And right now, there has been at least a slight advantage when you talk about Corey specifically. Have not seen as much value coming out of the operator yet from Baby Bay, but he's at least keeping it on the field, which is always going to be a consideration for Nox. So now as they kind of go a 2-3 split, the spike is leaning towards A, but they're not committing anywhere in specific. So now with 1 minute and 5 seconds to play, this might just be a full flip all the way back over to B. Not sure if they actually got information that Zach has swapped over to the A site defensively this round, but if that's the intel, this is a brilliant call for them to make the rotation.
Corey's going to pop the Empress early, so I did expect him to use it this round, but he hasn't seen anything yet. And typically, you want to confirm where the hit might be coming from first, and this is where Baby Bay may be calling for reinforcements. Corey now starting to make his way over towards B. Talks about Baby Bay needing to set up. Well, this is his time. Misses the first shot again. Tailwind away, and now the Rolling Thunder to follow.
Rolling Thunder and Hunter's Fury trying to come through, and they should be able to find the kill after the tag came out on the Baby, but he's able to use his updraft to stay alive for just a small time. Paincake's able to finally put him down. The retake on the way, but the Empress, that's about to expire here. You've got to start finding kills right now. Completely gone indeed. Corey will not be able to use it whatsoever, so with the spike now planted, EQUINOX in a 5v4 hold situation. Mina going to find one more kill. Zach there for at least one trade, but he's actually able to find a second, so still doable. Neural Theft will be used now for FaZe on the retake attempt. One more Lear sent out in the 2v3. Gonna get one in the corner, but Paincake's able to respond. Zach in the back corner. No more magic for him in this round as he finds 3, but still comes up short. EQUINOX able to finally get another round of the board here offensively.
And 2 things going wrong there for FaZe Clan as they do lose that round. The most important, well, a really important gun round. EQUINOX's first gun round win was the fact that Corey Empress used super early. It was really touch and go on that one. Again, typically you want to use the Empress closer to when you realize the hit's going to come through, or closer to a situation where you know that you're going to be in a fight soon. By the time he rotates over to B and enters the fight, it's gone. The Empress is done. He's got no one to shoot. He can't refresh that Empress charge at all. Mina, by the way, won't buy this particular round. We'll use the Bladestorm for the next gun round. And then Baby Bay as well, missing that initial shot. Should have been a 5v4. Baby Bay should have killed someone and made that last situation much more workable.
This is a big regain now for EQUINOX. It's been a battle of extremes, it feels like, in this first half. With the first 3 going to EQUINOX, FaZe is able to respond with 5 in a row, but now all of a sudden EQUINOX in a great spot to potentially lock up their 5th round, if not potentially a 6th to follow, depending on how the kills transition between the 2 teams. Looks to be maybe a lot of pressure over through the middle of the map. We have not seen this yet from EQUINOX as far as pushing through mid. They find information, then usually back away, and that seems to be happening once more as you're going to get essentially a double hit here for Nox. But with this Bladestorm, again over to Baby Bay, it looks a little bit like deja vu from rounds previous, and
there
the kill, first blood for Baby Bay. One more in the corner, Baby able to find the second B main, and big numbers now for FaZe.
Finally, Baby Bay is really starting to show up, doubles his kill feed right now from 2 to 4. Marv now up for a potential 2 as well. Plenty of players coming towards him. Zachary to support if required. Just the 1 for now. Zachary will pick up the rest of the pieces. Decop alive, 1 versus 3. Might be able to get a cheeky plant in before time is over. The trap wide confirms his positioning, and FaZe now
30 seconds
go for the slow retake. They know they just have to deal with 1 player. Limited util available for Decop as well. Shouldn't be too much pressure.
You saw the Recon Bolt Aldrone still being held currently for Raucus. That will likely be what is used to try to scout out where exactly Decop is. Again, he could punish, make this an expensive defensive round at the least, but as he takes a couple of spam shots, now everybody knows exactly where he's positioned. These are all tough gunfights. Recon Bolt comes through, the triple challenge right afterwards, and FaZe with a very easy, clean retake, and they'll go up 6-4.
And there it is. As soon as Baby Bay really starts getting active there, opening up 2 kills early on, did get a little bit sweaty when he missed that opening shot. I was thinking, okay, well, this is just going to be more Baby Bay misses for today. But no, 2 on the board. That's all you need for that particular round. If he gets 1 every other round, then that's really ideal. EQUINOX, after just winning a round, has their loss bonus entirely reset. So the money is going to be extremely limited. The worst thing you can do is win a round and reset your loss bonus to go back to minimal buy bonus for the next particular round, which is why we're only seeing the 3 shares, 1 stinger. You're not even going to see the Spectres come through for this particular one, which means FaZe should be able to clean up, confirm number 7 on the board, and that will give them the opening half of the map.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of pressure over towards B initially, and Raucus is going to find some damage with the shock dart. Recon Bolt will actually catch a bit of information, but there aren't many shots to follow through this. One more shock dart place, but no kills to be found. Take a look at the middle of the map, though, on your mini-map. You're already going to get Corey getting a bit aggressive. This is a risky play. He's got Baby Bay watching over the top of them, but the numbers are favoring Nox, and even a 2-for-2 trade would be fine in EQUINOX's book, but I think they're starting to realize this is not a safe angle. The Aldrone will confirm that, and once again, back to B main they go.
I think they must know something has to be happening around B main right now. Corey pushing up just a little bit, didn't see anything over towards A short. As Corey leans harder towards B currently. Baby Bay will go back, and Corey down. That is actually going to be gun to the floor. 2 members towards the back now. Zachary and Raucus have to try and hold on. Double cages popped.
Zach is going to get tagged through the cyber cage. He falls. Raucus flashed up. Able to reset, but not enough. This is great for EQUINOX. Baby Bay on the way in. He can actually challenge this pretty quickly, but he's going to need to wait for Marv before they can really do much to fully take. Nice fault line will stop the push through after what was a greatly placed paranoia. Marv top left. Gonna get at least some information between players. Baby Bay for a first, still full HP. This is still doable for FaZe. 2v5 retake starting to come through. Baby Bay through the site. Has an opportunity for Q Fatboy, but can't win the bundle. So now it's down to Marv. 1v4 situation now made down to 3. But as he tries to take the corner peek, Pancakes will find a way to take him out. And a massive bounce back round here for EQUINOX on the Thrifty.
Yeah, that was disgusting. The pistols coming on through big time over towards the back of B. Zachary dying through smoke. Raucus not turning the flash. The full flash duration. Note again, it's 110, not 1.11, which means actually it's not even the 2-second flash, the 1.75 second flash. You'll count the quarter of a second there for Raucus, but still a quarter of a second. Unfortunately, too long for him. Doesn't connect anything. Can't see anything at all. Baby Bay tries to retake with the rifle on the floor. Drops his operator, and unfortunately they aren't going to be able to do that. If they get close, they would have eaten a Hunters, or rather a Rolling Thunder as well from Decop, but they don't end up baiting that one out, which means EQUINOX might be looking for a Rolling Thunder play this round.
Same rollout that they had the last time they had a Rolling Thunder, but when they made this full stack through A long, they didn't actually execute behind the Rolling Thunder. It wasn't actually ever used, so will that change this time around? Decop's going to slide from left to right. Cybercage going to allow him to do that, and here he goes. He's going to try to send this one across the left side of the spike site. There it goes. It'll find one player in the corner, one more on top. It won't fully get over to the players on top of Heaven, so Mina's got to find a way in. That's a beautiful flash behind this. Mina now for 2. One more down low. Mina for the 3rd. He's got the 4th up top. Baby Bay quickly trying to get here for the rotation, and FaZe need to try to find at least one counter pick. Not going to happen here as Pancakes able to find the elimination. Just down to Baby Bay. No chance. Mina for 4 in the round. Beautiful execution again for EQUINOX, and they tie the first half 6-6.
And everyone dies the back. You look at where all the blue X's are right there. You look towards the last kill as well. A little bit surprised that Baby Bay even goes for it. 1v5. It seems so strange to me that Baby Bay would risk the operator. Here we go. Let's take a look at the GoPuff replay. Or maybe not for this time around, but what I can tell you is the fact that Zachary did actually get flashed into hell, and then Marv died as well. Unfortunately, those 2 players did get caught by the Rolling Thunder, but most importantly, you look towards what Baby Bay was doing. I forget it was the last round, so there you go. That's why he went for it. My bad. Of course, it's one last round. Of course, you just go for it no matter what. However, 1v5, you don't expect too much. Heading into the pistol now. FaZe on the attack, EQUINOX on the defense. We actually even things up 6-6. So the one round that I expected FaZe to pick up number 7, well, they would have technically won the half. They don't end up doing so.
Big bounce back for EQUINOX. See if they can find a way to win this pistol here as well. The defensive setup is... This is pretty typical for Nox. Raucus... Is he going to be able to use this Aldrone to maybe scout out some information for FaZe through the middle of the map? It's a 3-man hit. Is anyone going to expect that Mina's in the corner, though? No, they're not, and Pancakes pinching it up for mid-market. They will come away with 2 kills. The Tailwind will allow Mina to get away. So a great start here for EQUINOX. Baby Bay not liking that gunfight back sub. Zach able to find at least one kill in response, but it's still a 4v3. But Raucus, okay, mid-market has been made available for him. He takes down Mina now 3v3 we go, and the spike has not been committed with 55 seconds. You can technically rotate this back to A safely if you so choose.
Great job by QFatBoy, by the way, to make sure he doesn't get caught by the headshot. Zachary does pull one back, but Zach is currently on very critical HP, and that is Spike on the floor. Zach won't be able to survive very long on 12 HP. He'll get a kill, but QFatBoy will clean him up. Still plenty of HP to work with. It is just going to be the one survivor here for EQUINOX, but that's all you need. That's one more. What FaZe can afford right now as we look towards the opening pistol, and EQUINOX pick up another pistol round. So far, both pistols have been picked up by EQUINOX. They should be able to pick up the following anti-eco as well, and we'll see if FaZe will force up. They will, of course, force up. Of course, if you're going to force on the defense, you're more than likely going to force on the offense as well. So there it is. 3 Stingers, 2 Sheriffs. Here we go.
Look, FaZe needs to be recognized in the fact that EQUINOX loves to stack members forward in the middle of the map defensively. They love to do it. At least it's going to be pancakes. At most, there will be also Mina in the mix. He loves to take his operator there. He loves to take a Vandal there. Doesn't make a difference. They love to double stack that every now and again. So EQUINOX, I guess the big question going into this one is, are you going to expect FaZe to come into this force buy situation? And I guess the counterpoint would be FaZe. Can you do a good job of concealing that you force bought until the execution comes out?
I think at this stage as well, EQUINOX can kind of feel it. I mean, if you were EQUINOX, you're thinking you got forced up against when they were defending. On the offense, it's way more often the force to come on through, and there it is. Oh my god, the Judge does so much damage.
But it's not enough to hold, so now quickly rotated defensively will be EQUINOX from B to A. Spike should come down successfully, pending that Marv commits to it. He hasn't yet. Looks like they're going to look for another elimination. This is dangerous because now you've got EQUINOX already primed to get back into sight. They've got flashes, they've got fault lines. They could actually retake this pretty quickly. Decop holding on for the fault line. There goes the hit. Now the flashpoint coming through. He's not able to take down Zach, who somehow survives another flash. DXM with the trade. 2v2 we go. Zach able to find one, but instantly responded to. Just down to Raucus, being pancakes. And Raucus with the Judge. He's going to read the Shrouded Step in pancakes, not allowed to get the TP off. FaZe bounce back on the force by 7-7 we go.
And part of me feels like, okay, maybe Pancake should have just dropped down. It ends up being a 50-50. Does he drop on the left side of heaven, the right side of heaven? Obviously, Raucus only sees one of them, and there has to be a bit of a limited window for Raucus to try and swing that shot across. He goes for the TP instead. Unfortunately, it does go right within Raucus's line of sight. Even medium range, the Judge, a couple of taps to the face is going to do the trick. So force up this time around will be successful. You're not going to see another 3 rounds in a row early on in a half for EQUINOX. This is going to be FaZe bouncing back pretty quick. 7-7 on the rounds.
And with the force buy, a very interesting dynamic to this third round of the half. Mina, long pink, Marv absolutely waiting for it. Big first blood punish. And so now for FaZe, with the numbers advantage, what do you want to do? There's so many opportunities for them in a 5v4, and what is a light buy, if you want to call it that, for both teams for the most part. You're going to have, look at this, QFatBoy on the Cypher defensively, trying to go through A long. He will be scouted out, though, by a Cyber Trap, so with that, he will back up to A. And it looks like FaZe realizing this, know that they should have numbers to hit B quickly. Decop respond to this, though. There's the first flash. DXN with the Frenzy, not going to find the first, and FaZe are dancing on the B site.
Trading a bit of damage there as well. Zachary gets in the way, so once more Zach just makes these flash scenarios so much more difficult for EQUINOX to play against, and they lose their flash characters while Breach is out of the mix. QFatBoy will return one. Pancakes can't really do much more other than that. It ends up being pistols with 1 Frenzy on QFatBoy versus 4 rifles, including Bulldog and Spectre there as well. Zachary already has ultimate available. Actually ended up being used in that particular fight, so there it is, the round gone. Zach's ult gone as well. They working up eventually towards the operator, which is why he's been saving on this Bulldog, the same Bulldog that I believe Raucus picked up after getting the kill on Pancakes with the Judge. So Baby Bay working towards that 5k at 4.2 for now. So another round to go before we can start to see the operator come on. And FaZe once more will lead the current round score 8-7, just by the 1 though.
Even though this game is tremendously close on the scoreboard, there's got to be a level of confidence felt for FaZe when Zach is top fragging and Baby Bay, who typically is the player that is responsible for first bloods for this squad, is still struggling. And the fact that you're keeping this game close is definitely a level of confidence when it comes to building in there. So as we get this hit coming through very quickly over to A, QFatBoy up top, trying to use the cloud burst to spam, but Baby Bay gets the better of him. So now it's going to be Baby Bay up close and personal, down through hell. and the take is clean for FaZe. Not a lot of damage taken as well behind this, and EQUINOX don't have a lot of tools for the break. That's the big problem. It's going to have to be the successful flank from Mina. Raucus is sitting here waiting for it, though. Point of contact about to come through. Wide swing, doesn't win it. So now for the pinch for EQUINOX, 4v4. Can you work your way in? Decop up top, gonna find a couple of shots to land down low to hell. One more coming closer towards the spike site. That's gonna be an easy kill, but Baby Bay down low. He's found himself a third kill. The ace would be required, and he's not able to find kill number 4. EQUINOX beautifully find the flank and get the retake.
DXN awarded the ult point there as also Hunter's Fury will be confirmed for the next following round, keeping this one nice and tight here, Alan. 8-8 so far in the round score. EQUINOX are not going to allow this half to get too far away from them. A very fast hit from FaZe. And technically, you would argue that FaZe had the lesser equipment value there, not by much, mind you. I mean, the Bulldog was in Baby Bay's hands. It ends up being the most effective weapon, despite the other rifles being on board. Baby Bay now, it's been available as well. We'll be saving up once more. Still trying to get this operator online. Eventually, we'll probably be able to look towards it after using Bladestorm this round.
Keep up.
We haven't seen a lot of success off the Hunter's Furies yet from either squad.
My way.
Although you could argue that for FaZe, when Raucus pulled his out defensively, it at least got some damage dealt on the execute towards A that EQUINOX was trying to pull off. So, player like DXN doesn't usually come up empty with his Hunter's Fury too often. That's an unfortunate bit of timing. As flashed up was Corey, he tries to find Sanctuary in the dark cover, and waiting for him was Pancake. So EQUINOX will now have the advantage here in a very crucial 17th round, 5v4.
EQUINOX have a lot of ults as well to play with, so if things start to get out of hand, that's when you can really start leaning into those. DXN gets a little bit of information towards what's happening over towards B as well, but nothing major for now. Just that one kill developed towards the mid. FaZe now leaning heavily towards B. Only 2 plays to respond. First up is going to be Mina. We've already seen Mina get a multi-kill. Potentially another one now. First one backs out.
Revealing area.
Great utility behind this. Double cloud burst, recon bolt top side, trying to catch any information on players pushing through. Marv, is they going to be able to use the Shrouded Strep to get to mid? Pancakes is here, though. The rest of the defense starting to rotate through. Wide peak, not going to come through. Pancakes can't get the second, so still an opportunity for FaZe. It's a 2v4, a tough situation to be sure. With 30 seconds, you're just hoping you can find a way to get this spike planted, but there are still 2 members defensively on the site. Zach needs to find an opening pick, and this pinch setup for EQUINOX is looking more than stalwart. Yeah, that's going to be spiked down, and yeah, no chance for Raucus to move. Really good hold for EQUINOX.
Yeah, they got locked out through mid. Corey dies early, tries to go through B main. Will survive for some time, but can't really respond with enough kills, and moving to the round now, they are going to have to end up saving for this one again. Baby Bay already used the Blaze, so what you notice out of this one is if FaZe actually won, they would have kept the rifles. Baby Bay would have had his 5k for his operator as well. They would have been off. They would have been going exactly where they want to go in terms of an eco macro perspective, rather. But FaZe now looking towards the force, or rather looking towards the save here. Only one will end up forcing, and Baby Bay's going to go for the hero rifle like you mentioned there. He has the money to do so. It will mean that the operator does get delayed again, but for this round, they want to try and bring something back with Baby Bay, so let's see if that happens.
Really dicey engagement happening over towards A long. EQUINOX wanted to get a bit aggressive. Don't really find much with it. Meanwhile, opposite side of the map, you've got Corey and Zach that are running as a duo over towards B, and DXN is going to read both players over in this direction. So now, EQUINOX want to get a little bit more aggressive over towards A, and that's a bit too rogue for Mina. I see what you're thinking. Okay, we've got 2 players at B. Maybe it's just 1 player actually over here for EQUINOX. Mina tries to get first blood, but it's a costly engagement as FaZe now in a 5v4.
And I don't think Mina at all realized the possibility of a hero rifle coming into play, and so heroic it is. Mina's body will get dropped to the floor for free. That's now 2 weapons for FaZe versus 4. And a 1-player advantage into the Hunter's Fury. Raucus pops that one through. No kills so far though. Marv responds.
There it is. Raucus takes on the player topside. This would be a thrifty round for FaZe. They've got a 3v2, but EQUINOX still have the ability of a Hunter's Fury of their own. Now it's going to be channeled through, trying to delay the spike plant for now, but no damage being confirmed for DXN, so comes up empty once more, and he's still 20 seconds away from a recon bolt. So now, as you've got rifles picked up for FaZe, it's a 1v3 situation for DXN. He's going to find one down low, but Corey equal to the task. A big round for FaZe, not technically a thrifty because of the hero rifle that was picked up, but throw an asterisk on that round. That's a thrifty round for FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, they convert from 1 rifle into 3 rifles plus a round win on, I will still call it an eco round win. That means FaZe, they get to win a round, a pretty big one. EQUINOX got the same one on their own offense, where we expected FaZe to get 7, ends in 6 and 6. This time around, EQUINOX probably looking towards a 10, and FaZe will even up 9 to 9. Operator now out for Mina. Blaze at the ready as well for a little bit of backup. Decop finally has Rolling Thunder as well. This is a big round for EQUINOX. They're investing heavily. Plenty of members buying down very low as well, and a lot of ultimates to play through.
Same rollout for FaZe off the default. The same duo over towards B main. 3 players still stacked up over towards A long. Spike could be left behind this potential push. Mina opportunity, gonna make use of it. First blood confirmed onto a big opponent. Corey down is massive, as the Empress could have been a consideration, but now off the table.
Yeah, and I think the Empress would have been popped this round as well. I mean, I understand that I think Corey should have the understanding that this would have been an important round to try and get something through advantage-wise, but losing very early on to the operator. Again, they just kind of losing track of the potential buys coming through as well, not expecting the ult, maybe not expecting the angle. I'm just going to dry ping that one directly into the scope of Mina, who will make things a lot more difficult. As FaZe still looking for opportunity, they haven't made any developments through the mid. Mina's actually even looking spawn. I think Mina is assuming, because they've lost mid control, FaZe could be there. Little do they know, FaZe is nowhere near mid.
Decop, he's going to hear the Aldrone come through, immediately spend a flashpoint to stall out any hit. Raucous information. This should actually be a very healthy amount of information. You know that the breach is nearby. Now you've seen the Cypher. So this is going to be a really tough battle going through tree, and FaZe are not interested in trying to push through this. Raucous will play rogue, just got to go by himself. The rest of the hit coming to the middle of the map, and what a read this is. EQUINOX is going to quit the Rolling Thunder. Raucous from behind. He's able to find the first. Goes to the recon bolt, though. 1v1 versus him and Decop, and Decop will fall. What a rotation this is for FaZe, but only 10 seconds. You've got to get in, and Mina's going to be able to find the spike carrier. 5 seconds left. You've got to get there. Mina for a third. There are still members on this side, and EQUINOX will hold. Rocket's going to look for some consolation kills, but a massive round. EQUINOX able to take it, now up 10-9.
FaZe wait until they have like 25 seconds left before they start making some serious moves. The Rolling Thunder misses most plays, but slows things down considerably. You even have a case where, okay, Raucous is trying to slow down the rotations. FaZe is trying to get onto site for B, but they take too long. There's like 10 seconds left to go. Whoever had the spike ends up dying very quickly. Zachary tries to save the situation by planting on site, but there's 2 players alive on there to respond from EQUINOX, and that is such an unfortunate round for FaZe to lose, because they had the advantage, they had the possibility of actually getting a plant and maybe winning that round, but just left it until too late. Now EQUINOX ahead. EQUINOX still have an ult to play with here. FaZe did end up saving the Empress via Corey dying, so maybe look towards using it now, and they will know about Mina on the operator. Big question is, do they know where Mina is?
So far, no shots have been sent out from Mina, so his position expected to be concealed for now. A 2-3 split, and EQUINOX, who very regularly stack the middle of the map, have left it relatively open. But it's paid off so far for them. DXN going to try to find information off the Aldrone. Nothing to be found here as Zach will stay concealed. Information, though, will be found out on Mina with this operator, as Raucous will chase him down, and with that, there will be a double hit coming over towards Tree.
Recon just to confirm the location. After that, they know that Mina will be close, but not too close. Empress pop now. FaZe Corey understands how close he is to the action. We're already deep on site. Look at this.
Yeah, but the spike is not here. This is a really risky moment for FaZe, because you just have to play defense on top of your EQUINOX site, and as Pancake's able to find another elimination, there's numbers now defensively. 36 seconds to play. Corey needs to find something miraculous, and he's not able to get anything, so now Baby Bay is going to be tasked with a 1v multiple situation, and it just seems like we've seen this before, where the execute kind of comes forward, the spike is left behind, you're going to leave the lurker to come up behind you and pick it up to try to meet you there, but there were no opening kills for FaZe, and a brilliant hold for EQUINOX, now in a prime position to number 12.
Yeah, I mean, we can speak to that, to be honest. Picking up the spike pretty late is one thing, but the more important thing is the no kills coming in, the no early trades coming in. Corey does eventually get 1 kill, the Empress, but can't really find too much more. A lot of utility there, just blocking sight lines. EQUINOX very close now, confirming 12. Yes, they did push off Mina from the line, but Mina back in, over towards mid. 5-man from FaZe over towards B, though, and a very quick push. They're already on site.
This is great now. Baby Bay first blood, but he does get caught up by a trapwire and a lot of smoke from cyber cages of an execute. Fatboy finds himself a second, but on the site now we go. Corey with the Stinger able to find DXN. That is an opportunity for the spike to be planted. The retake is going to be quick to come on through, though, but the spike does get down. Just down to can you find the kills off the execute. Fatboy working on a potential ace. One more in the back corner, and Cute Fatboy will clean up all 5. give a lot of assist credit to his teammates for the flashes, smokes, paranoias, whatever else you want to count into the mix, but all 5 kills go the way of the Cypher for EQUINOX.
And speaking of good team play there as well, Cute Fat Boy giving over the ult point to his teammate Pancakes, even though he is only 1 away from the Neural Theft. We'll have to find that one via kill later on. Anyway, picks up the operator for Mina. Match point found, or map point I should say, in the space of 3 for EQUINOX. 12-9. FaZe making it very competitive on that last round. Remember, before we do get too excited here, FaZe was on an eco, so they still did pretty decent for an eco. Corey nearly made that one competitive down to a 1 versus 2. Spike was planted as well. FaZe now have the ultimates. I don't expect they'll be able to do too much catch-up here. They would need 3 rounds in a row to force the OT, and EQUINOX are in position where if Mina can start popping off again on the operator, FaZe won't have any chance.
Here's that stack mid-map that we've been talking about for EQUINOX. Pancakes will be scouted out, though. Will they realize that also in the mix is DXN? Trapwire will be met by the Aldrone. And Corey seems like he maybe wants to give this a play. It's a long, dark cover that's thrown through mid. Pancakes is going to have a paranoia in hand just in case. But it doesn't look like Corey really wants to force the issue. You've got Decop also playing aggressively in A Cubby, and this is a setup for EQUINOX that will not allow for many trades unless it does come through a hit mid-map.
Bladestorm coming through from FaZe as well. Baby Bay want to play this one nice and tight. Another splash, or rather, the smoke comes through, but Corey has beaten the timing, and DXN thought he was safe. Unfortunately, not so much the case dismissed through, and now we're suddenly on to B. The layer should follow as well. Mina can't see anything.
Pancakes only able to find one. Yeah. The spike, though, all this time was not picked up. Cute Fat Boy lingering in a dark cover mid-map. Corey on the other side. Who responds first? It's Cute Fat Boy. 6 kills straight now for him after the ace in the previous.
Exactly.
Baby Bay realizing he's got an opportunity to get here quickly, but the Neural Theft will scout all this out. Decop, do you challenge this? He's got 2 flash points, deals with the recon bolt, so an opportunity for a retake to come through, but again, with Baby Bay up close and personal with this Bladestorm, very dangerous. Mina on the rotation is going to be here late, but they have time, and there's not a lot of utility left for FaZe, if I'm being honest.
Well, the Neural Theft was confirmed, so you saw the players on site. However, enough time has passed now. You don't know where a few of them are. You know that Baby Bay's close, though. Mina's down. This is looking a lot better. Flash comes on through, but Rourke still gets the kill. One alive now. Cute Fat Boy got an ace earlier. It's not going to be able to respond with too much more this time around. Got a nice kill onto Corey over through to mid, but speaking of Corey, he opens things up, makes this a much more workable round for his team. DXN going down early, the smoke coming through from Pancakes, pretty deep over towards the mid, but Corey has already beaten the util. He's past the smoke already. DXN believes it must be clear because, I mean, teammate Pancakes hasn't seen anything. The smoke covers it as well, turns his back on Corey, and that engagement, that little skirmish towards the mid sets the pace for FaZe to start moving through the round. And then the 3v3 gets won by FaZe as well. Empress available. 10 and 12 was moving up to B.
First time we get an aggressive look for FaZe. Paranoia's going to push this through. Defensively falling back is both Mina and DXN. They're able to stay alive, and that's actually super crucial, but FaZe still with the full power, looking to hit this quickly. The Empress trying to get into the mix, but it's actually going to be EQUINOX for the favorable trades. 4v3b go, favoring the defenders, and DXN is still on site. He's going to get tags off onto Zach. Retake defensively from the defensive spot as spawn is nearby. And this is interesting because FaZe, they're not committed, but they're in a hard-pressed position to back away as the Empress is about to expire, yeah.
Do a lot here. He has the first contact over towards the side of defender spawn. Plant hasn't come through. Zachary playing this one very safe. Time is in the favor of EQUINOX. EQUINOX don't mind waiting this one out. Recon is destroyed as well. They need to do something. They're going to have to press the issue. Eventually, Decop has no more flashes. The fault line coming on through. Corey's missing his shots. Doesn't have a layer left to go. Can't find the kill. Can't reset the HP. Zachary does get the trade, but it's a 2 versus 3 now down to a 2v2. Players still arrive over towards the defensive spawn as well. The spike is planted.
Decop with this frenzy, are you kidding me? He finds 2 kills with it. Just down to Zach. Rolling Thunder will boop him up into the air. Can he stay safe to get the status effect down? Here comes the Chow. Pancakes with the kill. And EQUINOX will take the first map at a best of 3 here in the round of 32 over FaZe, 13-10.
Defenders win.
Well played by EQUINOX. Mina did so well this map. He dropped over 20 kills. You saw Cute Fat Boy with the ace early on as well. You have to look towards that first half. I think that's where the big difference was made. The 6-6 finish when you had FaZe looking towards a 7-5, maybe more, maybe an 8-4. They had such a commanding lead after they dropped the 3 rounds in a row. Remember, there was that situation where right at the beginning, it's pistol into a force, into a save, for the side of FaZe. After that, you look at the gun rounds, 5 rounds in a row, pretty decent. They start dropping a few, though, and dropping a few ends up dropping a lot more. The last round goes exceptionally poorly for them. 1v5 situation, Baby Bay dies, and they flawless to cap things out for the opening half on round number 12. So we walk into the second half as well. Another pistol being won by EQUINOX, and just the pistols alone, you can account for 2 rounds right there. So it's a very small margins game. You look at the 10-13 result, the 3 rounds that EQUINOX got, you can very precisely pinpoint where 3 crucial rounds were found.
I mean, it's one of those things that, again, we know that this FaZe Clan team is not afraid to go into 4 spies after they drop the pistol. They did it now twice in the 2 opportunities that were in front of them here from Ascent. But again, like we mentioned, it's a best of 3. Bind will be up for our second map. It would be split for map number 3 if we need it. But for now, we'll send things to a small break. When we come back, we'll give you the full recap on what everything looked like statistically for all the players in this first map and get ready to go for number 2 on Bind right after this.